Hey, everybody. Just waiting to see if I see a countdown, so I believe I'm live. And then I'm going to just double check my YouTube just to see if I can see some stuff. Because you'd think it would tell you when you're live, but not always. There I am. So I'll just wait. I'm going to give this a few minutes, see if some people can pop on. Make sure I'm in the right spot. Okay. 5. All right. There I got some people popping in there. I see someone now. Okay. Hi, Kathy. Thank you for verifying that for me. I appreciate it. Sometimes Facebook is a little more fickle than YouTube is, and you can't really tell if you're live or not. Hi, Diana. Hope you're doing well. Thank you guys for stopping in today. So we're going to be making the card that I talked about the other day on my Facebook. We're going to use the Beautiful You stamp set along with the stitched nested dies. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to take a pretty good guess. I believe this card was a card that Lisa Mackey shared with us at On Stage in, where did we go? Atlantic City in November. Happy Friday. I know. Woo woo. We made it to Friday. Yay. Hopefully everybody's happy and healthy. We're all feeling wonderful in this house again, so everybody's on the mend. Hi, Donna. Thank you for stopping in and seeing me today. And so in case you missed this, I did share this card. Let's see if you can see it nicely. I did a video for this one. So this was the other card that was in competition for what we did live on Facebook on Wednesday. So I made a video for this one so you can catch this on YouTube. This is a great stamp set. I need to make myself a note because I'm going to write a note on that paper. I need to order Snowfront. Note to self, order Snowfront. Okay, so other thing, put that here so I remember. I am really slightly shy of a goal for the end of this month. So if you have anything that you'd like to get, I would truly appreciate if you would shop in my online store, rachthestamper.stampinup.net. I have, dang, I have a host code and I should share that because I can't remember what it is. I will post it to this video when it's finished because sometimes it doesn't stay. Actually, I'll see if I can add it now. But if you shop with that host code, I will send you an extra bonus. I have a lot of card kits. It might take me a little bit extra to mail these out, but I will mail you a card kit and then I will email you the PDF for what goes along with it. So give me just 1 second and I will see if I can share. It was just there like 5 seconds ago. The host code. Dang it. Well, I will put the host code when we're finished because I don't want to waste any more time doing that because I just feel like it's rude if I'm doing that now. But if you have something, I would love for you to shop in my online store and support me. I really appreciate your support. Anything that you have to give. Thank you guys so much as always. Also, if you would like to join my team, be happy to have you on the Rainbow Stampers. We have a team of about 9 people right now. So we do a lot of sharing on there. We're also part of another team, which is Team Stamp It. That's my uplines team. And we do lots of things with them as well. So without further ado, I'm going to flip you down. So if you do get a little seasick, you might want to look away for a sec. I'm going to flip you. And then I will tell you when we are in position. So bear with me just 1 second. And there we go. You can see I'm brave. I have my coffee with me today. Okay. Oh, come on now. Where is it now? All of a sudden it stopped. Donna, you're hilarious. She puts up with me so she takes anyone. You're too funny. Don't say that. You're nice. I like you, Donna. I think you're a very honest person. And I strive for the same. So here's another close-up of that card. It's really pretty. And the soft, subtle folder really makes this card. I think it was really nice. That was a card. I cannot remember who I said shared that one. But today we're going to use Beautiful You. And I did keep So Sentimental just in case. But I think I'm going to use one of the sentiments here. Or maybe just a nicer line art stamp set for that. So without further delay, what we're going to do, I want to show you a couple of these things because I already had these trimmed. So the other day when I was making my Actually, I think when I did my YouTube card, I was showing you all that I had a couple of these glued, or not glued, but taped together. So let's just say it was these 3. So what I normally will do is I will kind of put these together where I think they're nicely spaced. And I will put, I just want to show you what I'll do. And then I'll put a piece of tape kind of on the back of each one, and just make sure that you like the way they're spaced. And then if you run them through, I'll show you what I mean here. So you do want to make sure they're evenly spaced if that's something that really bothers you. But then what you do is you can run them through. I'll just say, for example, if you ran them through this piece of Whisper White, or this is actually watercolor paper, you will get 3 thin frames, which will look like these. So these were 3 frames I cut some time ago, so I'm going to just use one of them today on the card. So that's how you do that with the rectangles. You can get really thin layers, so kind of like picture frames. So there's another little tip for you, in case you didn't know. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to use one of these, and I'm trying to figure out which one, because this is the Stitched Nested Label Dies. And I feel like I just want to make sure the picture that I picked is, that looks pretty close. The picture that I picked. So I'm going to use the largest Stitched Nested Label Die. Okay. And we have a piece of Coastal Cabana. This is 11 by 4 1/4. We're going to score this at 5 1/2. I have a piece of watercolor paper. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This one we're going to layer on here. We're going to do a watercolor wash on the background for this first. Then we're going to do a scene, and we're going to cut it out with this, and we're going to layer this on top like that. And then we're going to have this piece laying over top. So it's a really, really pretty scene that Lisa shared. The only thing I would have to decide, and if you all want to help me with this, I was tempted to do the girl kicking, but we could also do the umbrella in the rain. So do you have a preference on which one we would do? I also wanted to keep out the My Meadow because I want to use these little seagulls here. So we could use either one. So do you have a preference of which girl we use, the umbrella or kicking, singing in the rain? We'll say singing in the rain or dancing in the ocean. So either one, doesn't matter to me. I am getting out just a scrap of Whisper White, and that's going to be for our lady, whoever it is we choose. And I am going to actually stamp her with the Stamparatus because I want to make sure it's really, really dark. And then the other thing I may do is when we're finished, I might go back and re-stamp her again in black prior to cutting with the die. So let me know your thoughts. Singing in the rain, I see. Why did my phone just go to sleep on me? I don't understand this. Let's see. Umbrella, umbrella, girl kicking, dancing, singing, dancing. Oh, geez, oh whiz. I see. 1, 2... Here we go. We're going to have a tie again. I'm going to have to make a second one another time. All right. I see more umbrellas from what I see. So I'm going to go with the umbrella. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll do another version after the fact. And I will do the other one. So one other thing you'll notice on this, I don't have my stickers on because this was a cling mount stamp. So if you have any of the extra stickers from the new clear mount stamps, or this was clear, the new is cling. If you have any of these, what you could do is you could put your sticker on and then you could add a little piece of this and you can retrofit that. I have a video saved here on YouTube that shows you step by step how to do that. So if you've not seen it before, it's pretty handy, but I'm just going to eyeball this because I'm pretty sure regardless, as long as I have this centered pretty well, I think we should be fine. Let's make sure this looks, I'm going to move her down a little bit. Like that. Okay, so let me just move this out of the way. And I'm just going to stick this in the corner. And I'm going to do this with Memento because we are going to use the blends for her. So this should be a pretty simple card. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp her. And someone did say this the other day, if you do put a stamp pad underneath, you don't have to hold it, so you can ink it up really nicely. But my desk usually looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, so I was kind of afraid to do that because there is a very large pile of things that could fall over. So I'm just going to stamp her one more time. And then after we color her, I might go back and restamp her, but we'll see. I might be fine. So she's pretty good, pretty dark outline. So memento when you use the blends, because that is a water-based ink and the blends are alcohol-based. If you use them together, you actually will smudge it. So you do want to make sure you use the correct ones. So I'm going to pull this out. Going to just set this on the side in case we want to restamp it. Then in the meantime, I'm going to grab my watercolor piece, and I'm really hoping I have water in this, because if not, I'm going to be really mad at myself. Let me see which one this is. I know that's kind of lame that I'm doing that, but I was sniffing it. This is water. I know something is seriously wrong with me, right? Okay, so let me go back to my card because I kind of want to pick the color. So it looks like Blueberry Bushel, Coastal Cabana, and then I feel like she went with a crumb cake. So those are the three colors I'm going to use. All right, and let me pop back over here so I can see my comments. Okay, so I'm going to watercolor, I'm going to wet this a little bit first, and then I'm going to add in the colors. And I'm going to go with the Coastal Cabana first, okay? So you can kind of either give your pad a good squeeze, so you create a little pool. Or if you can't do that, if you're having a hard time squeezing, you could take your inker and just drop in a couple drops. But I'm going to make sure, let's see if this, so I'm just going to kind of spread this over. And then I'm going to make a little pool in here. Just dropping a little bit of water, and then just kind of this was one of those cards that I intended to do when I got back from on stage, and I think I just forgot. So one other thing we might need, I don't know who that is, we might need to heat dry this just so it will be dry enough to be able to use. And remember, when you're doing this, sometimes it's going to look a little bit darker. It's going to lighten up when it dries, and you can always add more layers if you wanted to. So there's one. And I'm going to close this up. Just have my little towel here. Let me wipe this off. Squeeze this, make sure it's clean. So same thing again. I'm just going to come down here, do the same thing with the crumb cake. I'll do the Blueberry Bushel last. It is a little easier to squeeze these old style pads, but if they need to be re-inked, they might not work as well as you think. So I'm going to add a little ink to this, a little water to the ink. Same thing again, just kind of spread this. Oh, this is really light. All right, this one I'm going to actually go with a re-inker. So, holy cow, look at my crumb cake. I don't know if it... I'm looking in there to see if it linked. I don't think I've ever had this little amount of a re-inker, so clearly I need to get a new crumb cake re-inker. All right, that's a little dark, but I've had this one obviously since the beginning of time. Like hours through the sand glass, like sand through the hourglass. That's the days of our lives. That's what I'm thinking of that. All right, luckily this is a little darker, so I'm going to go with that. Don't mind me, I just got back from lunch duty at my son's school, so I think I'm a little hopped up from all the energy from the kindergartners. But they're so cute. So we're just... Remember, the middle part is going to kind of be covered, so if you don't get the whole thing, it's okay. Now, one other thing I want to tell you. Smarter thing would be, and I think I had one, but I took it downstairs. If you have a paper towel, you can kind of dab the edges of this a little bit to absorb a little bit of the water. I'm just going to do it here with my towel, just so it doesn't drip, because I kind of want to keep it in the area where it is. So I'm going to turn this around. So last time with this one, just make sure it's clean, and I'm just going to wet. I'm actually going to see if I can pick that up. I'm going to wet this area. This will be the Blueberry Bushel. Just a little. Don't want it too wet. But a paper towel does nicely because it will pick it up without making marks in it. All right, so I'm going to add a little water to this. All right, and same thing again. I'm just going to bring the blueberry bushel. If you want a more concentrated look, you can totally see from what we did with the re-inker, and I'll show you again on this one. It will give you a nice dark look, so I actually like the dark look of that crumb cake. I think even a little bit better than the Coastal Cabana, and I know that is a bit intense, but again, it is going to lighten up once it dries. Kind of spread that around. Might have to go back a little bit more with that Coastal Cabana near the edges. All right, that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to clean off my brush, and I think I'm going to add a little bit more in. Now this, if it bothers you, you can wipe it out, but quite honestly, I will just let it sit there and dry. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to grab my Coastal Cabana re-inker, and I'm just going to drop in a drop. Oops. And there went my little label. What I did before is I took the little extra pieces and I put them on the caps, but sometimes they don't stick so well, they fall off. All right, so once more, let me just bring a little bit more to this. Really more so near the edges. And I'm just going to make sure the colors merge. There we go. All right, so that's pretty good. So I'm going to leave that be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that again. So that was crumb cake, Coastal Cabana, and blueberry bushel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this sit for a moment. I'm going to wipe just this little piece off. I'm just going to kind of sop up a little bit of this with my towel. But I'm going to let this sit. And then if it's not dry enough after we finish our other part, then I will go back and hit it with the heat tool. I need to remind myself to get a crumb cake re-inker. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and I'm going to do the blends for this, and I'm just going to stamp that little seagull after I kind of figure out where I have everything set up. Just put this on the side so I remember to empty that. So I'm going to do a little bit of Pool Party. I think I only want to use the light Seaside spray. For her dress, I feel like I kind of want to stick with Coastal Cabana, but I don't know if we have that in a Stampin' Blend now that I think of it. I might have to use Mint Macaron, Donna. Are you going to be able to stick around if I use that? I don't think we have Coastal Cabana in a blend. Nope. So I might have to do a little combination of maybe a little light Call Me Clover and a little light and dark mint. We'll make her umbrella like a softer color. How about if we go with... I want to stick with kind of a nice neutral, let's see, maybe soft seafoam. Yeah, I'll do soft seafoam. And then I'm just going to grab, do we have, that's dark soft suede. I want ivory and a teeny bit of bronze. These two are the skin tones. I think these work really nicely together as well. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the water. So for the water, I said I wanted to do Pool Party. So I have light and dark. So let's see. So just a little bit, kind of like that rainy, puddly look. Stretching it out. Doesn't have to be too big or dark. And then I'm going to go over it just with a little bit of light Seaside spray. Now, I will tell you this, and I have heard this, and I can't say that I've actually tested it, but let me see if I have a little scrap of paper. I've heard that if you color on top of paper, somehow it makes it all blend together a little better. I really don't know how accurate that is. I use the blends a lot, but I'm not really terrifically knowledgeable on the alcohol marker. I don't even know what word it is to use on alcohol markers in general. So if that is true, if someone could really kind of steer me in the correct direction, that could be right. But I've heard from some people, so I'm just kind of filling in the neck here and the legs. And let's see, we'll go a little bit different with her. We'll make her a light brunette. So I just have a little light soft suede. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. So if someone knows, please feel free to fill me in because I'm not really sure. All right, so for the dress, I'm going to start with dark mint macaron, and I'm going to add in a little bit of light call me clover. We'll see if we can kind of get a pool party-ish color because I was trying to somewhat keep it to the colors that were here and not realizing we don't have Coastal Cabana. All right, so that was a little bit of dark mint, light call me clover, and then I'm going to blend it out with light mint. And then I'm going to do the opposite up here and see what it looks like instead. So that's light mint, and we're going to say she's in a long sleeve dress. A little bit of dark mint. I don't think it's as bright necessarily as the Coastal Cabana would be. It doesn't quite have as much blue. More green and less blue. I'm just going to add in a couple other little shaded spots here. And then once again, I'm going to go back with the light mint on the whole deal. So, not an exact match, but slightly close. We'll go with it's close enough with the tone on tone. Now, I feel like we need something bright for this. So, instead of what I was going to do, what color we have, I'm going to go with light Night of Navy, and I'm going to bring out the Balmy Blues for the umbrella instead, because I think this soft sea foam is going to just get completely lost in there. Even Bermuda Bay might be pretty. All right, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to do light Balmy Blue. You could even do so much as to add like some dots to this if you wanted to. Would be kind of neat. I'm going to add a little bit of light Night of Navy, just kind of to the dark Night of Navy is really, really dark. I'm just going to add this in kind of a couple of strategic places here. All right, and then I'm going to go back. This is the light balmy, I'm sorry, the dark Balmy Blue now. Who I probably need on here is Tina Wardell, because I think she does a lot of stuff with the blends. Tina is a sideline of mine in Team Stamp It, in case you were not familiar. And I'm going to go back in with the light Balmy Blue. Just kind of trying to keep a couple light spaces there. So I think that looks pretty. Oh, you know what I forgot? Her shoes. We'll go with something with a light Poppy Parade. I just have kind of one shoe here. Lady in the red heels walking in the rain. For something a little different. And now for something completely different. So hopefully that looks pretty good. I see paper piecing. Now that is a great idea, Donna. I do love paper piecing. That is really, really cool. Especially with like a really fun piece of DSP. I actually did that before with the stamp that we have with the lady with the wedding dress, and I had everything in white, and then I had her wedding dress cut out with floral, actually with the bird ballard DSP, which turned out really cool. So that is a really nice idea as well. So I'm going to look and just make sure we have kind of enough ground here, I feel like. I'm going to go maybe just a little bit more with the light Pool Party to kind of stretch this out just a little. And a little bit of, that's dark Pool Party. I want a little bit of light Seaside Spray. Kind of just mixing it through. So it gives her somewhere to go. Okay, and I feel like that's good. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the birds, and I want to add my sentiment. Okay, so let's see what else. Heard something from another demo this morning. Uh-oh, what's that? Next celebration items. Next celebration items come out. Hold on, let me grab my brochure. I feel like it is the 3rd, because I think I was telling people the 4th, but it's the 3rd. Yes. There you go. March 3rd is when the next set come out. So right now, the kerchief kit and the ribbon sequin combo they are both sold out. So I'm going to add in, I'm going to do gray granite. I'm going to add the birds, and then we just kind of have to add a sentiment. So let me grab the birds here. So we have lots of stamp sets have seagulls, but we have some nice seagulls in my meadow, and they're just handy, so that's why I'm grabbing that. So if you have them in something else, certainly feel free to use that. Stamp this off first. All right, so we'll give her just a little bit of bird action there in the background. And it sounds a little strange, but that, and let's see, what do we have? We could do wishing you brighter days to come. We could do that one. Let's see if I can find that one. How big is that one? That one's not terrifically big. I don't think I've ever used that one before. So we can put that right here. And I'm going to do it in black. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bring in the Stamparatus just so I can kind of figure out where I want to put it. So one thing you can do with this, if you don't necessarily have your words on here, is you can actually stamp this on, and I don't think I can reach it, but with your Stamp-A-Majig, it used to come with a clear block, so you could stamp this on there so you could kind of eyeball where you wanted it. So remember, we're using this die. So I'm going to kind of set this up, set my scene to see where I think I want to put it. We'll put it right about there. Now what I'm going to do, and this is just reacting to the magnet underneath. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this here, and I'm going to just ink it and stamp it onto this little scrap paper because I want to make sure that it's, for the most part, pretty straight. So I'm just going to adjust. No, actually, that looks pretty good. We're just going to stick with it. So I'm going to slide this in, and I'm going to ink up the sentiment. Especially after I went through this work, that's kind of why I'm using the Stamparatus, because I don't want to fudge it up. And if we wanted to, if you really wanted to blacken up, so you can see how black that is, what we could do, and I'm going to show you, just to show you exactly what it is I'm talking about. So we kept this in the same position with the girl here when we stamped her. So if you wanted to, and you can just make sure that it looks like it's the same, you could re-ink this again, and I'm going to do it with just her umbrella part. You could re-ink it again, and it's going to make your image a little bit darker over top. So you can see that. It'll like re-blacken everything on top of the ink. Okay, so then what we've done is we inked it with our blends, but we re-stamped over top of it, so it just really makes all the black portion of everything pop. So that was about all I was trying to get at as to why I left her in the same position. So, and then if you wanted to, you could make a whole bunch of cards. Just keep her in the same position. You could stamp all of your bases, then do all of your coloring, then do your restamping if you needed to. Okay, so let me move this over. We only have a couple more things to do from here. One thing I forgot to do was to score my base. So really now all we're going to be doing is assembling. So let me move a couple of these things out of the way. All right, so I'm going to hit this with the heat tool just to make sure it's really dry. I'm going to score this at 5.5 because I neglected to do that earlier. I'm going to make sure this is cut at 4.25, which it is not, so good thing I checked. This piece we're going to cut down with our die. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this. This is the double stitched. I'm going to make sure that I like kind of where I have it lined up. I'm going to take a piece of double stick tape and just put that down so I have it lined exactly where I want. We're going to run this. Oops. I like to keep these out, that way I can tell you what colors I use. Run this through the Big Shot. And then we should be good to go. So we have our little piece here, our scene. I'm going to turn on my heat tool real quick because I just want to dry this background. I'm going to do it from both sides just to try to make sure it's not too squiggly. All right, that feels pretty good. I'm going to do it this way, like that. Okay, so now I'm going to fold my paper in half. Already scored. I don't know, for some reason, some of my scoring lately is leaving a little bit to be desired. I think I'm not on a nice even surface. You could also, if you wanted to, put this in between a piece of copy paper and run it through your Big Shot or your die cutting machine if you want to flatten it a little bit, but I'm just going to hit it with a lot of fast fuse just to make sure it's really, whoops, flat. All right, and I want to make sure it's up correctly oriented for me anyway. So we're going to put this piece down. Nice and flat. So that was a really easy watercolor wash to do. Again, if you want a little lighter color, don't use your reinkers. If you want a little darker color, use them. I'm going to tape this. I'm going to glue this down, but since this piece is a little thin, because you can see it's cut a little wonky, I'm actually going to do it upside down. But I'm going to do this with liquid glue because it's going to be sticking to watercolor paper, and I just want to make sure it's a really nice adhesion. So I'm just going to put a very thin layer, oops, of liquid glue. Okay, just like that. Silicone mat is really handy too because you can just wipe it off. So we're going to just put this down like here, like so. Just give it a nice press once you get it where you want it. All right, and then I'm going to put her on with some dimensionals. And today I'm going to use appropriate size dimensionals instead of trying to do it with those tiny little ones that I was doing the other day. 3, 4, and I'll just put one on each side. You could also do this with, if you have some foam, like fun foam, you could just cut out another one and glue it to the back. There we go. And then just pop her kind of so she's centered. I'm trying to make sure that I have my tips going above and below so they're kind of equal. I think that looks nice. Yes, I'm hoping we're going to come out with, now certainly if you wanted to, you could add another dimensional here and here on each side, but I just didn't want to annoy you all with waiting for me to pull all those dimensionals off. But I'm hoping maybe we'll get a Coastal Cabana stamp and blend. I really hope so. So I think this is cute. Again, I probably put this one just a teeny bit crooked when I pushed it down, but oh well, too late now. It's on there. Thanks again to Lisa Mackey. She actually demonstrated this card at one stage in November, and she did this with the new stamp set. So this actually was with, where is my catalog? Hold on, I'll show you. These are the new ladies, and then there's like a mom and a daughter. Where are they? Here they are. She did it with this, with the beautiful moments. She actually did it with these two. And then you can see you also have the birds in this one. So this one you could also add. The mountain range is really pretty. This was actually designed by Jackie Williams. I believe she is from New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. Hopefully I'm not. But she had some beautiful sentiments with this one as well. So this one was really nice. So for hers, she had these two kind of situated on this little piece here. But lots of beautiful images in this stamp set. As you can see, it really works well with the nested dies. It's a great example. So I hope you guys found this video useful. Thank you so much for stopping in and hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. One question before we leave. Does anybody have any like really awesome plans for the extra day we're having tomorrow for Leap Day? we're going to see Monster Jam. My son loves monster trucks, so we're going to see Monster Jam tomorrow. Does anybody have any other great plans that they're going to do for this extra day of the year? I would love to hear what your plans are. Again, remember, anyone who places an order today or tomorrow, so today's February 28th or tomorrow, February 29th of 2020, I will send you, in addition to the normal freebies that are listed, I will send you a bonus card kit. I will mail you the card kit. Now, you have to remember, you would need to have the stamp to be able to use whatever card kit, but you can probably modify it to something else. And then I will also send you a free PDF in the email once I mail everything out. So it might take me a little bit extra to get those together. But I will also post the host code for that, which, daggone it, I still can't find where the heck it is. Because I had it, and I use it like every single day. You'd think I know right where it is, but apparently, I don't know. Maybe I accidentally deleted it. I'll have to look. So I will post, because if you all are familiar with YouTube's, once the live ends, all of the comments disappear. So if you want to come back and watch this again and leave a comment, if you've left a tip for someone or maybe something to make people's stamping experience a little bit easier, I would love if you would go back after the fact and add that again. That would really make my day. So thank you guys so much for joining in. If you're new to me, you could give me a thumbs up. You can hit the bell and subscribe to me, and it will tell you when I'm live, number one, or number two, when I post new videos. It'll send you a little notification so you can catch those. You won't miss anything. It's in your settings to make the comments stay. Thank you, Gail. I did not know that. So apparently I need to do that. I need to change that. Gail, if you know how to do it, I would love you forever. If you would send me a message and tell me what to turn on, I would truly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, as always, for stopping in and hopping on. So I see. Let's see. Monster Jam. That's so funny. And Jean, it's your anniversary? That's awesome. Happy anniversary. That's pretty cool. What a neat day to have your anniversary be. That means every 4 years you should get a really, really awesome prize. A prize, a gift. Well, I guess it is a prize when you're married, right? All right. Well, thank you guys very, very much. I truly appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Enjoy your extra day of the year. Please do something fun. Have a ball. Do something that maybe you haven't done in 4 years. Maybe that might be something even better. Thank you guys so much, as always, for joining, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Don't forget, tomorrow at 10 a.m. starts our Team Stamp It blog hop. I totally forgot about that. I actually did do a video, so you can catch that on Rachthestamper or right here on YouTube. It should post for you live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thanks, Karen. I'll send some paper. I'll send some pictures. I'll post some onto my Rachthestamper page. If you guys follow me there on Facebook, I'll post some pictures. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.